What's going on, y'all? You know where I'm at. You know what I'm about to do. I'm about to go in the grocery store and get ready to meal prep for the week. Still on my eating healthy wave. Just had a good cheat day yesterday, so it's time to erase all that. But anyway, wanted to drop a little game for the bros, and this is just my personal experience. So, a few months ago, I weighed a whopping 279 pounds. And I know it doesn't look like it when you see full body pictures of me, but I did. I was real big. I was real fat. A few days ago, I came in at a whopping 247 pounds. That's a lot in a short amount of time. And of course, y'all know what I did. I just put the fucking fried food down. Stopped going to Chick-fil-A every day. Stopped going to Hardest. Stopped drinking the Gatorade. I just basically quit that during the week. Now, of course, I still have my cheat day. I'm saying all that to say this. When you start going down to different weight classes, you realize that you start getting different weight classes of women. We all go through it. When you were a certain weight, you knew what you could get versus what you couldn't get. The women that you probably talked to were probably bigger, but you were fine with that because you were a big dude yourself. You're still a big dude. But you notice as you start going down in the weight class, those women start going down in that weight class as well, because now you're qualifying for a different tier than what you previously qualified for. That's funny, ain't it? You still the same person. You still the same swagged out dude. You still the same charismatic dude. But that stomach, that neck, them rolls matters as men. Don't let people tell you it doesn't matter. It does. When you start getting rid of that, when that starts erasing, getting out of your body, you start noticing, okay, I'm getting more flat stomach women or more hippie women hollering at me now versus the eggs with no dupe. It's funny. You might be mad, but it's true. This is very true. Also, what I have noticed, have y'all noticed sometimes that when you drop in weight, that the woman in your life that you're talking to, they might want you to stay a certain weight. They don't want you to go below a certain threshold. Do you wonder why that is sometimes? I think I do. Sometimes I think women don't want you to go past a certain weight, a certain number, because they'll know you'll qualify for hotter chicks. I think this is normal, because the same thing can be said on the men's side of the game, especially if you're not doing what you're supposed to do as far as financially, and you feel like, okay, your woman might qualify for a dude with money. So you feel self-conscious about that. I think the same thing goes with women when they see you getting sexier. When you're starting to become in a tier that they're not in anymore. They start getting self-conscious about that. So they want you to stay a certain weight. They want you to stay a certain size, because they know you'll start qualifying for different options. So this is what I suggest that you do if you feel some type of way about that. Women, if you're starting to feel some type of way about your dude losing weight, getting sexy, making gains, get in the gym with him. Get on that diet plan with him. As he's going down in weight, he's starting to go up in value. So you need to do the same thing. You start going down in your weight, and you go up in value to match his. 9 times out of 10, if y'all like in a relationship or something going on like that, he's not going to step out or do nothing like that, because he just wants to look good for himself. But you know in the back of your head, ladies, that, okay, this dude is about to start qualifying for women that are out my league. So in order to maintain that, You need to compete. I know it's something that we don't like talking about, but you have to compete for the man you want. Men, we have to compete for the women we want all the time. We have no problem doing that. We know that essentially from birth that we got to compete. So women, you got to do the same thing. If you want to keep that man, you got to compete. Because as he's getting low in the weight and his pocket's getting up at the same time, you know what that's going to do? That's like getting on the highway. That's like you being in DC traffic and all of a sudden now you on I-85 in Alabama. Open. The freeway is open to opportunity. And in order to be on that same level with him, you got to do the same thing. You got to compete. You got to compete. You got to compete against yourself. You got to compete against others. Because nobody wants to be doing all this work, getting in shape, becoming the best them, and they're over there looking at you and you still ahead. Will love and all this other type of stuff have a determining factor in it? Yes. Men will stay with women that are shaped like eggs for love. We will. Trust me. I know. We will. But it's going to get to a point to where he's going to start looking around like, hey, I'm doing all this work, self-improving, but you making excuse after excuse as to why you can't get your ass up and do something. And this is probably something that you haven't heard before, or something that you know in the back of your mind, but you're afraid to say it. But it's always that elephant in the room. Like with me, it was the elephant in the room with me about not being on my purpose, having low funds, and thinking that a dude with funds was going to come snatch my girl up. That was in the back of my head. And it was true. That's how I felt. So a lot of women might be feeling like this too. So you got to do what you got to do to keep what you want. Once you get it, that ain't it. Especially for married people. Once you get married, you think, okay, I got you now. I can relax. No. It even gets, you got to keep them now more than ever now. Because people love to have stuff that ain't theirs. Especially when it comes to marriage. But anyway, that's my advice for today. If you see your man dropping that weight, you drop that weight too. Yeah, he's going to love you as is, but he's going to love you more when he sees you that you're trying to improve with him. But anyway, get your ass up.